Hello guys, so this is going to be sort of like a part 2 to the reproductive system, just to show you exactly what I meant by using these diagrams to create some study tools. So this is just like a quick example. You can go into more detail with this, you can focus on one specific subject, but I just wanted to show you how you can add multiple stuff to this and use it as like a quick recap. You could honestly add more to this too if you wanted to. Starting here, I just labeled a couple of the structures, so the endometrium, the myometrium, and the perimetrium, the cervix, the vagina, the ovaries, the fimbriae, the fallopian tube or the uterine tube or the ovarian duct. Here we see the corpus luteum, the ovarian follicular cells. If they've you can see the development here and how they turn into the corpus luteum right there. You can see the infundibulum, the beginning portion of right here, the ampulla, which is the site of fertilization or implantation, where that sperm and egg will meet. Not implantation, sorry, fertilization. Implantation is going to be over here. Once that fertilized egg becomes a blastocyst and it goes through that whole development right here that you can see. Then the isthmus right here that leads to the entrance of the uterus. And I kind of also added along to my notes some of the hormones will influence the menstrual cycle within any of the ovarian cycle or within the uterine cycle and stuff like that. Uterine cycle again is going to be just specifically pertaining to what is going on within the uterus, and the ovarian cycle is going to be what's consisting within the ovaries. And they're both happening like simultaneously alongside each other because of the hormones that are going to be influencing each one. Kind of brought it back here to our beginning of the endocrine unit, where we talked about how the hypothalamus will release gonadotropin releasing hormone, and that's going to target the anterior pituitary gland and stimulate the anterior pituitary gland to secrete and produce like follicle stimulating hormone and luteinizing hormone. And I just wanted to do like a quick little notation. You can again go into more detail with some of these if you want to. I just wanted a quick recap of what hormones were influencing what. So for follicle stimulating hormone is going to be targeting the ovaries to stimulate the follicular cell growth, and then that's going to develop the ovum or that mature egg, and then lead to the production of estrogen. And estrogen in the proliferation phase is going to thicken the endometrium. The follicular phase is going to be the one that's dealing with the maturing the follicles to produce, and that's going to lead to the production of estrogen and stimulate the release of luteinizing hormone. And then that luteinizing hormone will trigger ovulation. And then the luteal phase is going to be, of the ovarian cycle, is going to be the formation of the corpus luteum. And that corpus luteum is going to secrete progesterone, and in the secretory phase of the uterine cycle is going to be influenced by progesterone, and then that's going to make the endometrium like thick and more filled with fluid. So it's going to become like highly vascular, just like rich in blood, and that's just going to help with that implantation of a blastocyst right here that you see. I highlighted here the days just so you guys can go in there and make notes. I just forgot to note what days that's going to occur right here. Just because some of the questionings might not exactly say proliferation phase. It just might ask you what phase of the menstrual cycle is going to lead with. And then I also added here the what is going to occur if fertilization is occurred. We have our oocyte, that mature egg. Fertilization is occurred. The sperm has entered the egg. Becomes a zygote, that fertilized egg, and it splits into that 2-cell, 4-cell, 8-cell until it becomes that blastocyst, which is what implants here to the lining of the uterus. And then if there's no like viable pregnancy that occurs, it's when the menses occurs, that shedding of the uterine lining, your period, and then it's going to occur also because like a decrease in hormones. Add to this to your notes, search what exactly causes the menses and stuff like that. I left it out of here just to give you guys a little bit of homework to do to create your own, not just copy and paste this, as well right here with the describing oogenesis, describing what's occurring in oogenesis, the steps to it, the splitting, the maturation of the what leads to that oocyte and stuff like that, and the name of each stage of the egg during that time. Also, describing the pregnancy hormones that are going to have effect during pregnancy and stuff like that. That's another thing I highly recommend adding to your notes. Now, on to the male reproductive side, which is a lot more easier, in my opinion, than what's going on within the female reproductive. Okay, so with the male reproductive, I kind of wanted to bring notes of like how this sperm is going to travel until like it exits the penis or is ejaculated out. So starting right here, a lot of students will forget this breakdown of what's going on within the testes. Oh, I forgot to put a note that these are the part of the testes. So the seminiferous tubules and the efferent tubules right here. Seminiferous tubules are going to be the site of sperm production. There's going to be specific cells within there that are going to aid in that production of that sperm, and there's going to be specific hormones that are going to stimulate that sperm production. So it's important that you know which cells do what. When describing spermatogenesis right here, along with mentioning of the blood testis barriers, like what's staying, what's leaving, what is the blood testis barriers, like what's the purpose of it, and then efferent tubules, and then to the epididymis. Epididymis is where it's going to be that site of sperm maturation. Then we're going to go into the ductus deferens, and then right here we see the seminal glands. The seminal glands are going to contribute to that seminal fluid. So I listed down here like the how it's going to contribute to it, but as part of your homework to encourage you to study some of this, it's important that you're able to describe these terms and their roles that they lead to the contribute to seminal fluid. And then from there we go to the ejaculatory ducts. Here you see it in the prostate gland. You can see how the urinary bladder starts is part right here, like the part of the prostatic urethra, and then you see the ejaculatory ducts. As part of your studying guides, I highly recommend like looking up like the prostate gland and its role within the male reproductive. Also describe what can go wrong within like the male's health if this becomes swollen. Like you can see here a very important structure that it can like affect if it becomes swollen. I think you see this more like in older men specifically. Then yeah, okay, so from the ejaculatory ducts and then the urethra, you couldn't break up the urethra pathway based on like the tissue that's around it too. Highly recommend looking into your notes on the different segues of what divides up the urethra and its passageways and stuff like that. And then little quick breakdown of the hormones that affect this. So follicle-stimulating hormone is going to target the Sertoli cells, and that's going to lead to the production of sperm. And then describe ABP, what it is, that's going to how it plays a role within the production of sperm and stuff like that, or it stimulates the production of sperm alongside follicle-stimulating hormone. And then luteinizing hormone is going to stimulate the Leydig cells or the interstitial cells to produce testosterone, and testosterone aids with that stimulation of the production of sperm. So testosterone equals production of sperm. Again, describe spermatogenesis and what's going to occur right here. I left it blank just to encourage you guys to study and make your own. Again, just don't copy and paste this. Make it your own study tool that is going to be useful to you. But yeah, that's just breaking down this and how you can turn it into a useful study guide. Basically, what I did during my time as a student was just write down all my notes as text and find any diagrams or any other study tool aids that Dr. Curley had available and turn them into more visually pleasing notes that broke down the information into small bite-sized pieces. And that's essentially what I'm showing you guys here of how you can turn it into your own notes.